guys, James. Today we're going to be making some banana bread. This is a very easy and simple recipe, and actually it's my dad's recipe, so I should thank him for it. But it's a very nice recipe to make at home. It's more traditional. You can substitute some of the things if you want. You can even put chocolate chips in it if you want to make a chocolate banana bread. So before we get going, be sure to like the video down below and subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. Alright, so before we get started, I've defrosted a few bananas. Banana bread is great because you can actually save the bananas if you don't eat them, so you don't waste them, even though they look horrible. We're going to take them apart and just put them in. Then you can take either a fork or a whisk or your hands if you want, and we're just going to mash them up. And we're going to get our scale out. Be sure to zero the scale before you start. There we go. And now we're going to weigh out our flour. We want about 250 grams of flour. If you have a sieve, it would also be a good idea to sieve this. So we have about 251. So now we're going to add all the dry ingredients together. We're going to add about a cup of white sugar, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon goes very, very well with banana bread. And then about 1 teaspoon of baking powder. It's important to add baking powder to this because if not, you're going to end up with literally a brick. It's not going to rise. Now we're just going to mix. Alright, then we're going to add about 115 grams of unsalted butter. Then we're going to add about 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Vanilla and cinnamon go very, very well together. And then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of yogurt. Mix the wet ingredients together. Then we're going to add this to the bananas. Again, mix just a little bit. It should look more or less like this. Don't worry about these little white pieces. That's actually the butter. And if you don't want to use yogurt, you can substitute it for a bit of sour cream. It's very easy to do. And also, if you want, you can add some chocolate chips to this instead of walnuts that we're going to be using today. It's a very, very easy and flexible recipe that you can make. Okay, now we're just going to add the wet ingredients to the dry. Be sure to scrape everything out. Now we're slowly going to mix the ingredients together. Okay, so once you have more or less this consistency and all the lumps are out of it, now we're going to add some walnuts to it. And you can roast the walnuts if you want as well. That would also make it very nice. Just going to mix this in really quick. And we're about ready. It's a good idea to wipe the bowl down as you're working. And now we're going to add 2 eggs. Mix very, very well. Wipe down. For the pan, you can use anything that you want. You can even make little cakes out of this. I'm going to use a bread pan today, and I'm also going to coat the inside with a bit of butter. You can put a bit of oven paper down inside as well. It just helps pull it out and makes it a little easier if you want to do that. Okay, wipe the sides down, mix it in a little bit. And yeah, it's a much better consistency with the eggs. We're just going to put it in. Make sure you get the entire mix in. Okay, now flatten it a little bit. So after everything is ready, we're going to put it in the oven at 175 for about 50 to 65 minutes, more or less. Be sure to check it periodically, and also to rotate in the oven is very, very important. And then after the timer goes off, we're going to take it out. You're going to take a toothpick or a knife and check it to see if it comes out clean. If it comes out with just a little bit of the dough still on it, but very, very little, is enough because the residual heat is going to cook through and it's going to be fine. Otherwise you're going to dry out the bread too much. And that's it guys, it's a very easy and simple recipe that you can make at home. For any questions and comments, be sure to ask me down below, and if you want any more recipes, be sure to check out the rest of my videos that I have up on YouTube, or if you have any suggestions, be sure to ask me. If you enjoyed the video guys, be sure to give it a like down below and to subscribe as well. And I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Thank you for watching.